Yeah, I'd love to get your comment on a thought that I've had. In fact, I wrote a blog article about it too, and it was an idea relating to professional services. And my background started in public accounting and then went to consulting, but they're very similar kinds of firms in how they operate. And my article was talking about what I called a principal centric firm, and my thesis of this article was that in small firm environments, which I've had experience with, as well as large firm environments. In the small firm environment, you have a lot of often principal-centric firms, and you'll have one or several principals in those firms, and they're highly credentialed people. They have the experience, and they may or may not hire people, but if they do, they may hire some entry-level or young people that they're using simply to assist them in continuing to be the person as the principal who serves their clients. And that's why I refer to it as a principal-centric firm, because by design, when they hire people, the firm is really all about them and their service to the client. And I laugh because my firm's called Ty Carr Advisory, but I actually don't operate that way. You'd think because I put my name in it that I operate that way, but I don't generally operate that way. And so, and I'm not saying that operating as a principal-centric firm is the wrong way to do things. I think that you could be successful being principal-centric, and you can be successful and have a different business model by being about growing the team and developing the team's skills and reputation with clients and with the community. So I think you can seek success either way, but they're different business models, they're different approaches. And what I find is that you have a lot of these firms that are principal-centric, but they talk about growing the firm. And that part I find
it's
ironic.
A disconnect.
Yeah.
And so continuing on what you're talking about, so think down the road and think of all the baby boomers now that are nearing and looking at retirement. And that model, now what?
Yeah.
Now what happens? If you have that gap between the principal and this person who's just coming in to assist them, there's nobody ready to take over. So
Right.
What happens to the clients and what happens to the business?
Yeah, no, I've seen that exact thing in our profession too. You got to talk pretty fast to find somebody who's willing to buy your business when you're retiring, before they realize that business is all about just you and everybody else. Yeah, I mean, what are they buying at that point?
And the different model is if you develop those people and they do have a career path and they grow and develop, then it's just a whole different ballgame.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, my preference, or in my head anyways, and what I profess, is to grow the team. I think, I try to be self-aware enough to say that is my preference. I don't want the firm to revolve around me and my services per se. I'd rather be the mentor who's building a team with me and letting them become the primary service providers, letting them enjoy the profession and helping them do that. That's where I see my career and where I want to go with things at this point in my life and in my career. And I try to be self-aware about that's what makes me happy. And so I try to align that business model with that. I just think self-awareness on this issue is really important.
The other side of that is if there's firms like that and they will keep people 10, 15, 20 years. Well, things change. The good news, they've been here that long. The bad news, they've been here that long.
Yeah.
Right? And I see that all the time. And change is hard. And there's a lot of technology that if you've been somewhere that long, you don't want to learn it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.